Hello, my people. Welcome if you are new here. I am Kristen and you are in the good. And this video is a conversation around the energies for the week of December 9th through the 12th. So we're just going to see what wants to be said, what needs to be heard. You want to know what lies beneath, what's hidden, what wants to come to the light, what's already in the light. What are the insights, the reflections, the validations? What's the way forward? Okay. First card out. Rebirth. This is perfect for the end of the year. There's a rebirth, and I feel with this lion here and all this yellow, there's going to be a rebirth on your strength, on your actual physical vitality. And you may already be kind of getting into a new routine physically, whatever that means. It could mean you want to eat a little bit better. Even though it's the holidays, you are saving those, those treat days for the holidays, but in between, maybe you're intermittent fasting, or you would like to intermittent fast, or this is your clue to maybe intermittent fast, or try some sort of a detox. Do things a little bit differently. Let those indulgent days really feel good and really feel like a treat, as opposed to constantly, the holidays are sort of this gateway, one after the other, to this sort of constantly going for drinks and constantly seeing family or friends and constantly having treats. And there's something about physical vitality and feeling better about yourself, because when you can physically feel better, then you're going to mentally feel better. And it's like preparing yourself. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this Monday through Friday, but I know all this month I have parties, or I'm going to be getting together with people. And so I'm really going to save everything for Friday night through Saturday. That's what it feels to me. Like you're rebirthing yourself physically so that you can have more mental focus and clarity. You know that when there are certain foods or certain drinks that when you do it all the time, it kind of builds up. It becomes like toxins in the body. And I think you're really taking care of yourself because you want to start the new year off a little bit more clear, a little bit more dedicated to your own self-care. And with this camel and a lion, I mean, the camel feels like, for me right now, it's the inner resource and building up the inner resource. And you want to make sure you can get through the next season. So as we're coming into the deep time of the fall, we're right in the middle of it. We're going to have the winter solstice in a few weeks, the shortest day of the year. It's getting darker and darker out. We've got this sort of place where it's going to be really dark leading up to it, and then dark, and it's kind of like going through Christmas and the holidays and whatever holiday you're celebrating in the new year, and starting that new year, you want to have built up sustainability. You want to be able to not be able to lose yourself. You want to not lose yourself and your priorities because you don't feel well physically. Because there's something that you're driving towards. There's something that you're moving towards. And you want to look your best. You want to be your best. You feel like you've been working on yourself. You've been processing. You've been healing. You've been coming into wholeness. You've been reevaluating the goals, reevaluating your values, looking at the people in your life, really feeling like you're coming to your own terms of who you are and what that means moving forward as we go into this new year. And you want to feel like on the outside, it looks like how you feel on the inside. You want to present to the world physically how you want to keep moving forward and who you want to be. So there's something also here about you might want to rebirth how you present yourself in your clothes or makeup. You want to get physically fit for some of you, which is so weird because we're in the holidays and it's this season of indulgence, but there's this place of not wanting to hold on to too much excess. You want to be more free. And perhaps it can feel like with this lion here, this representing very much strength in the tarot, that you don't want to feel the tension. You don't want to feel like people are trying to push you. They're trying to tap into your strength, and you want to keep your strength for yourself. Very interesting. Very interesting from this rebirth. Because whatever this rebirth is, you want it to manifest physically, but not just in things and structures and daily routines and, emotionally, spiritually. You want it to feel physical. And so you may want to think about, well, do I want to get a different haircut? What do I want to do differently that can make me feel different? Because when you can feel different, sometimes it's that little push that we give ourselves. We can poke ourselves, activate ourselves, and it just feels good to try on something new. And you might be surprised at the rebirth, that it can kind of, how people look at you, how they respond to you because of this. So there could be a rebirth around how you engage with the world because of this. It's very much an very internal rebirth. Like it's just for you. The earth dragon, as above, so below. So this feels like this manifestation of what you're feeling internally, wanting it to be out in the present for those to see, to feel, to touch. It's like this dragon, they have a home within, see? And it's interesting because there's the color gold yellow here, and there's gold yellow here throughout this reading, and orange. I mean, this is definitely your courage and your strength and your own inner courage and inner strength, but how you want people to see that. So maybe you used to present more direct and aggressive, and now you want to come across a little bit more like the silent type. That's for some of you. It doesn't mean that you're less. You've got that heat, you've got that fire, you've got that strength, but you want to play more within the subtleties of how you communicate with people, and like the less is more. Like sometimes you can appear even stronger by saying things, by choosing what you say, by choosing not to speak. No response is sometimes a response, and some of you may be experiencing also that you're not getting a response from someone, and they're showing a certain kind of strength to you, and perhaps you're taking this less communication or these less as like they're weak, they're scared, they're upset, and maybe it's them not jumping to conclusions and not jumping to communicating with you so quickly, not wanting to jump in and say what they normally would say, because there's something about the connection that they want to make sure that they are saying the right thing, and they're taking time to pause and ponder. So if you're not getting a communication back from someone right away that you really feel has this kind of personality, they're normally a great communicator, or they're really great with their words, or they got a bigger personality, they're outgoing, and you're not getting it back, it could be that there's a delay for a reason. It is Mercury retrograde this week. We're into the Mercury retrograde. It's going to end on December 15th, I believe. So we're in the middle of it. We're not on the other side of it. And there very much could be, delays can often feel like, oh God, this sucks, or they don't like me, or I'm impatient about this, or I want to know. And sometimes it's a really good thing to allow someone to have the time to kind of marinate before they reach out. That sometimes that it really is the best thing, especially if they are breaking patterns, if they are trying to manifest how they're coming across to you physically, how they're coming across in their attitude, their body language, their words, those physical manifestations of how they feel. Maybe they want to do it differently this time, and the delay is part of the process because they're in process of learning how to do things differently. And you as well. Perhaps you did something differently with a certain person or situation in your life, and the delay can feel weird because, oh God, I did this differently. Should I have done it? I normally do this, but you did the right thing. Sometimes we have to be different in order to invoke, to activate, to poke somebody else's different, and you need to give them the time. It's not a bad thing if you're not getting the promptness, or as soon as. I was speaking with a friend of mine the other day, and he was saying, sometimes people will take a couple of days or whatever because they don't have the time to appropriately address it. And if they don't want to come across like maybe they normally would, and maybe they've regretted how they've communicated with others in the past, and there's something about it's different with you this time. You've been different with them this time. They want to be different with you this time. Maybe you don't know that. Maybe they don't even know it yet. The delay is about the process. The delay is about discovering what new patterns are coming forth to begin to be integrated. Let's take a look at the tarot. How you doing? If you're resonating with anything, let me know in the comments below. Chat with each other, support each other. I always look at the comments and I always reply to them. Please give a thumbs up if you are enjoying and resonating. Know that these messages could be for you, but you also may be hearing them for someone else. If you are feeling the call, I would love it if you would please join the channel. I would love to connect with you more as I form this community. All right. The Three of Wands. I think this came up in the love reading or the career reading that went up this last week. I do weekly energies on Monday, career path Tuesday, and love and intimacy on Friday. So I've had a lot of similar cards coming up. So that means we're working something. As a collective, we're all working something. So doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel good to know it's not just you? That as you are individually experiencing your own personal growth or your own personal experiences, that we all are working through a how do I move forward moment. This is what I have behind me. This is what I have chosen, right? Because you've chosen it. Because this person here has this new wand in their hand. The wand is blooming with flowers. The flowers are white, representing intuition. So you've connected with your intuition to move forward. And it's a blank slate. It's emotional. Blue to me is also the throat chakra, communication. So it's wanting to express your emotions, right? Work, love, whatever. It's about how, and as I move forward and I have chosen this new way I have turned my back to some things, but those wisdoms, those experiences, those choices that I have made in the past are informing me. They live in the back of the heart space, right? Because the heart has all sides. The heart has an east, a west, a north, and a south. Think of it like a sphere. And you've got all of your experiences always with you, informing you. But you want to, in creating something new, we do have to make very direct and clear choices, right? We have to move on. We have to rebirth how we move through our world physically and how people interact with us based on, how we're speaking to them, how we're presenting to them physically, which connects to how are we feeling. If you're slogged out because drinking too much coffee actually makes you fuzzy and then you get high on the energy and then crash, then yeah, you've got to do something about that so you can feel better, so you can present how you want to present to the new people in your world coming in that you want to be a part of. You're blooming something else. And it feels emotional. But there are other people. There's a boat right here. It's not that far. You can get there. You can get to this new place. And I want you to see this here in the back. That's your delay. If you're resonating with this, you're on delay with someone. There it is. It's just in delay. It's not here. It's coming towards you. And that can feel emotional to be in the waiting space. Especially if you have tried on a new way of expressing yourself or being or breaking a pattern that you've wanted to break that's uncomfortable, even though you're not getting what you want by doing that old thing. But the new thing feels like, but if I do that, maybe I'll make it worse. I'm hanging here. It's not really what I want, but it's not horrible. I'm doing okay. I really want that. But if I say I want that, and someone doesn't want to give it to me, or it's too much for that, just wait. Sit in the space with the delay. Sit in the blank space of all the possibilities of what can come back to you. Try not to produce this story, a screenplay, a novel, based on the evidence that your brain has categorized, right? Come a little bit more into the heart. Feel your heart. Feel the fullness of it. Feel that it is this dimensional organ. And tap into the heart and sit in what is a little bit uncomfortable to process through. We have a delay. We don't have a no. We just have a delay. Delay doesn't have to mean no. It doesn't have to mean they're a jerk or I'm weak. It's a purposeful delay. I know you hate me right now. It's a purposeful delay. I don't want a delay. I don't know, neither do I. Page of Wands, right? So we have our wands. So this is yourself moving forward, right? We have a lot of fire. So your passion, whether it be romantic passion or passion for your work or what you want your work to be, your passion for life or passion for your journey or a combination of all of it. You want to be seen for who you are now, and you're okay with the changes that have occurred. You're okay with getting older. You're okay with things have shifted and life moves on, but you still want to be perceived the way you see yourself. And it's very much, sometimes it means we have to start at the beginning. We have to start from a mind that's a little bit younger, a little bit more, before we have all these experiences and sometimes get resentful, upset, disappointed. Before, it's like tapping into that place when you're younger, before all these experiences became this huge meaning making of your life. So try to be right in the space in between, sitting in those infinite possibilities. Seeing the blank space. And even if you can only do it for like a minute, that's totally fine. And just be a little uncomfortable as you sit and just know that you can be in that place where the old stories aren't ruling the new script. And the Knight of Cups. So there's just a lot of communication here. There's a lot of fire and a lot of water. So there's emotion. So fire and water, I'm feeling steam. I'm feeling steamy. It's very steamy. It's very hot. Where you go to the steam room and you sweat, but you're also, when you sweat, you're detoxifying, right? You're detoxifying. You're sweaty and hot. Right? It's what can come forward to you as you begin to erase, clean the slate, detoxify on the inside. Liver detox for some of you. Getting a colonic and a really good colonic therapist for some of you as you detox on the inside, as you sweat things out. But it's also like getting sweaty because you're hot. You're turned on to life. You're turned on with whatever is sitting between you and the answer in this delay. This night does move a bit slow. It's the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Emotions. Someone needs to fill their own cup. If someone gives this to you and it's empty, or I don't know, if it's got beer in it and you like red wine, or if it's got champagne and you want beer, you know what I mean? Or you really want cranberry juice and it's just water. You want to make sure that the cup is full and it's with what you want. And, for yourself, you want to make sure that, do you want to dump this cup out? Are you on the way to the well to dump this cup out so that you have an empty cup to refill with what you want now? And also the other message with this is somebody, for those resonating with this, needs to fill this cup with what you want. And whatever delay there might be, this is their process. Because you don't want it. It could be instant gratification. It can feel good in the moment to take what someone offers you and be there with that. And that can be fun and that's great. But longer term, if what's in this cup is not what you want, it doesn't matter if it's full because it's not full of what you want. Somebody is in a process and there is delay because they are working through that within themselves, within working out their own healing process, their own self-awareness process, looking at their own, how they feel about the relationships, and romantic, job, and give them the time. And you're gonna know if you're being ghosted or slacked. That's not what this is. So if you feel like I'm definitely being ghosted or I'm definitely being shut, but if there's like this little, and you're like, okay, I can sit in this delay. Like, you know that this is something that you have to give them time to process through. I think you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay no matter what anyway, but you might be surprised at what's in the cup when they come back. And remember, we're right in the middle of Mercury retrograde. Today, as I'm recording this, which is Friday the 6th, Mars is going backwards. It's going into retrograde as well. We're just working through a little bit of things energetically here. They'll smooth out. So can you sit in the delay and wait for the cup filled with exactly what you want? I'll see you in the career path readings and the love readings. There are meditations on the channel. Right now I'm working through the Celtic tree alphabet. I love to help you connect with nature and plants for healing, and the meditations can be done traditionally or just stick them on and listen when you do the laundry or working. You're going to get benefit no matter what. So thank you so much. Again, please give me a thumbs up if you like this. Please let me know what kind of readings you want to see in the comments below. Subscribe if you're called. It would be an honor. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.